Yo, yo, yo. What is up? Okay, I think everything is set up correctly. I'm back at school. That's why you're seeing this. That is the reason why you're seeing this. Hi, my name is Kayla. I'm coach of the Cincinnati Willows. Um, and I am back with RUDL. Oops. I'm back with RUDL Season 7, Week 6. And this is probably the most blind I have been for a week. I am not gonna lie. School is right now my utmost priority, so this has been kind of taking a backseat. I have been trying to prep as well as I can for matches, so that hasn't really taken a backseat, but just overall being active, especially in terms of like keyboard stuff and in terms of just looking at even the channels for once in a while. I've been kind of not doing that as of recent. Um, but yeah, yeah. Um, and I'm playing this. I'm the only person who's played week 7, so I actually want to get my match out of the way first, so we will come to that later. But first, it's gonna be my match up against, or I guess I could keep my own, up against the College Ave Cubs. And the reason why I want to do my battle first is because then we can just be done with it. I don't need to talk about it. We're done. Um, I don't have to have the dread feeling in my stomach that I have to talk about this stupid game that took place. So, with all of that being said, let's talk about it. This is a very interesting matchup. As you can see, my new squad is here. Haxorus, Nino Queen, Decidueye, um, Arctozolts, and Dun. I figured that these 5 would be the best mons to kind of fill out this roster. I didn't really like the sun of this team. It was, I think, I think it was 0 and 2 for weeks I brought it. I felt like it was kind of holding me back as just a battler. And I'm fine with Sun as a strategy, as something you can play with. I don't like when you build a whole team around it, and while this team I advertised it, and I still do believe it was a team where you didn't have to bring Sun for it to work. It felt like Torkoal being there was enough of like a gravity of like I have to bring Sun, or like if I bring Torkoal, I have to bring all my Sun Sweepers. And maybe I played that wrong. I probably did play that wrong, but I figured it'd be best to kind of just do what I know I'm good at, and that's bulky offensive teams, and having something that can kind of wall break and having a sweeper at the end. And that's what this team is now more well adjusted for. I actually think I have a very good matchup. Chiyu looks amazing into this team. D-Pulse slash Flamethrower spam looks great. I can throw in a sub. I can throw a nasty plot. So I love this. I love Comfy. Comfy looks great as well. The one mon that Chiyu really struggles with, besides Blissey, of course, um, is Zygarde. And Comfy can always come in, kind of get it down low, and yeah. Arctozol is another one. I really love this matchup because Snow looks crazy against them. So we're kind of pivoting from Sun to Snow. Snow looks crazy. It outspeeds everything. Icicle Crash plus Bolt Beak just is crazy against this team, and it just takes a little chip for everything to go down. Obviously, I'm going to need the turns to cooperate with me a little bit, but besides from that, that looks great. Corv looks fine as a pivot, doesn't look great against Moltres, which is probably going to come. Nidoqueen with rocks, possibly T-Spikes could be something. I don't expect Arbok to come, and I don't expect Savali Poison or Defog Savali or anything like that. I think this team wants to be uber aggressive. Is that everything I really can? Oh, and Dodon. When I think last week, or last, Pokemon week, because this is definitely not going out last week, Dodon was a mon I kind of alluded to a couple of mons being matchup Pokemon where I was like, I'm picking this mon for the specific matchup. Dun was definitely one of them. You look at my team, look at the ghost weakness, and yeah, Spectre looks crazy. So Dun was kind of mandatory for this fight, unless I want to run Cassib, or not Cassib, whatever the ghost one is, I forget what it is, the ghost berry. Um, but yeah, on the other side of things, Spectre looks very good. It kind of just goes into my team very well. Can break for another mon, like set up Zygarde, Scarf, or SD Cart. Even a Breaker Diancie looks great into my team. Um, but the issue with this team is definitely hazards. I feel like rocks go up. There's a lot of question marks as to switch-ins. I think Blissey is very exploitable on this team, especially if I can get him on in, and I can kind of not have to worry about things. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and let's go into my match. As you can see, oh my goodness. Um, oh my goodness, new layout. I'm making sure it all looks good, but new layout, holy. I actually don't know if I'm gonna cover up the HP, but that is a future problem. So, yeah, as you can see, I brought Chiyu, I brought Snow. They brought pretty much the six I was expecting, except no cards, no baby cards. I love card. I'm a huge card fan, so very crushing for me. Um, okay, am I actually covering it up? I'm not really covering it up. Yeah, I'm not really covering it up, so that's cool. Um, but yeah, not a great matchup for me. Turn one lead. Actually, I'm main character. Let me switch. Oh my god, I am. Okay. Uh, I think I led Slowking predicting Diancie, and they just led the best one. So, um, yeah, I go hard to done on any Shadow Ball. They just Nasty Plot, which is extremely free, and they Hyper Beam. Yeah, and this is arguably where I misplay the most. This should be a free Dark Pulse. I decide to Flame Charge here, which is going to get some chip. They're obviously going to switch into Blissey, because why would you not? And here's my second misplay. I hard switch on Teleport. I had Nasty Plot, and I was very much considering clicking Nasty Plot, because look at the Nasty Plot. Switching, I mean Diancie is there too, but I should have just taken the kill, and that was a slight misplay on me, because now this is still alive, still very much a threat. My counter for it is gone, so as long as they can get it in, which with a teleport they definitely can, this is now posing a ton of problems. They don't set up, which is nice. I'm allowed to get a T-Spike up again. There's no way it's a volley poison, right? And I get my rocks up, which is cool. And then I can go hard Chiyu. They don't have a move that really does anything to me. Shadow Ball does some damage. And then they crit Hyper Beam. This mattered a pretty good amount, because this does not kill. There's no world in which it kills. I did have some HP investment, so brutal. Very brutal, but again, this could have been very much avoided. As I said, I had a Dark Pulse. I could have just clicked it, and it would have been dead. But instead, I got a little greedy for no reason. And because of that, I now lose my best Pokemon, and I'm in a terrible position. Um, it's not, though. It's not a roll. It very much, I can get the calcs up. It is not a roll. It is not a roll. The streets can say whatever they want, but the streets are not right with this one. Pretty sure I made it 90 enough to outspeed 95, but it could be wrong. Let me just grab this one. This is not the one I ran. No, no. The streets are definitely saying it's a rule. But I know I had HP. investments. The crit definitely did matter. Um, but in that same vein, um, let me get hyper beam. Um, about that crit not mattering. Yikes, yikes. I'm pretty sure I had 40 HP in this. I could be wrong. I was modest, 252, choice spec, or not choice specs, but I was modest. Um, with flame charge. Yeah, this doesn't kill, even if it's modest itself. I don't believe it kills. It does 75 so it's a roll. At worst, it's a roll. At best, the crit mattered. But that's Mons. It's annoying, but again, like I said, I wouldn't have even been in that position if I had just killed what was in front of me. Um, so even though that happened, still a misplay, it's still a roll then. Point point being, even if this kills, right? I'm at 71. Bruh. Alright, we're just chatting. We're just chatting. Hyper beam. So it's not even a roll in your favor. Alright. 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 Um, sure. Um, but yeah, like I said, even though all of that happened, um, like, alright, shush. Uh, even though all of that happened, right, you could say that's unlucky, you could say, whatever, rolls and all of that. I wouldn't have been in this situation if, again, I had just taken the kill. So, yeah, that's really, really rough. Because now this is dead, I can't even do anything on it. And now I get a free Slow King. The good part about this is I can get in the greatest Pokemon of all time, Arctozolt. And Arctozolt just gets a kill here. There's literally no switch-ins to this Pokemon. It just gets its kill. And it is Savali Poison, so unfortunate for me. But they can't really do anything. Snow got buffed, so Arctozolt is amazing. This one should not be 6 points or whatever it is, because it is amazing in Snow. And Snow is a pretty easy archetype to have. And you can do manual Snow and stuff. Dancy comes in, it's going to click Diamond Storm, get its kill, which is fine. Slowking comes back in on Rocks, which is fine. I just Chilly Recep. I could have thrown a Scald off. I think maybe that was the better play, was to just throw a Scald off here. But they are going to burn a turn. I can go Comfy, which I think was better because there actually wasn't a roll here on Diancie. Like, I never killed. Diplin's not even on screen. It is faster, which I was not expecting. I think I was like max speed or close to max speed or something. So, I might just be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember. But, yeah, they were very low on timer the whole game, which is pretty cool. But, yeah, I just have to Draining Kiss, try and get it, whatever, back. I can't really do anything. I can't really switch out, so it's just gonna stall me out a little bit. Again, okay, there I go. I actually finally throw off a Scald, which doesn't burn. But Diamond Storm comes out. I can Future Sight and then throw off a Chilly Reception. I live all of this, and then get back in the Goat Arctozolt. Here I had a really tough decision. I was going back and forth. I decided to take the safer route, though I think in hindsight I should not have. In hindsight, crazy. I should have just clicked Icicle Crash here, but instead I clicked Bolt Beak, which is definitely not the right play for a myriad of reasons, but the most specific one being that it wastes a turn of Snow, I have very limited turns of snow. I have to get all these turns correct, and I have to play to my win cons, which currently is snow. Um, I think what did they have in? What did they have in? Did they have this in? No. A chili, Arctizel, yeah. So this is in, so I have to play to my win cons here. And for me, that would be, like, Crash is just free. The only reason I don't click Crasher is because it's not a kill. Um, so, yeah. But that cost me the game because, as you're going to see, I go for Bolt Beak. It has E-Speed for reasons. Crash is going to kill. Diancie comes out to try and protect stall. It doesn't click a protect move though, so that's cool. Moltres comes out. I T-Wave, and this is where I realize I have to play to my outs. If I kill this, I just lose the game straight up. Right? There's no and ifs or no and ifs or buts. About that. Because Spectre comes in, it kills everything, right? There's no reason that would not happen. So I have to play to my outs. I have to play for Para into Chili Reception, which obviously is not likely, but that literally is my only win con. They click U-turn here, which is like worst case scenario, because now I can't even do anything. So I have to sack Slowking, I can't sack my win con, and that is going to do it. Obviously, I'm a little upset. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know, you can definitely see me, but I just said worst crit of all time, GG. I was pretty annoyed at this game. This game did not go the way I wanted it to, and I felt like not only did I not play well, but it felt like when I didn't play well, I just got extremely punished for not playing well. Which just felt really upsetting and annoying because I checked my schedule before filming this. I played 6 playoff teams out of 7 weeks, which is crazy, which is extremely crazy in my opinion. But even then, like, it was just annoying. It's been a little bit of a frustrating draft league, and this was kind of like the cherry on the cake of things. But yeah, so that happens. Yippee. We can move off of this. James is great. Great player. He's awesome. Ton of respect. Love him. Just really wish I won this one. And it was really frustrating. But I'll move on. I don't want to go too much into it. So, because we're already spending so much time on it. And I don't want to do that. So, obviously, 6-0 and 2-4. I have to win next week. That is the case for any team that will enter 2-4, and any team that will enter 3-3. They will have to win week 7, or week 7 must be treated like a must-win game. So there are some teams that can obviously, if they have the insane differential, they can squeak by, but you must treat it like a must-win if you really want to advance and do all that stuff. Moving on. We have the Patrice players going up against the Band Brigade. Iron Treads looks pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a lot of good switch-ins besides, like, defensive ments. And, I mean, I guess this one switches in, but it doesn't switch into Ice Spinner too well. So if you're playing predictions, that could be something to look out for. Valley always looks good against Sand. This is no exception. Especially with Annihilate there. So obviously these two. Pikachu's been coming every week, so we're just gonna say Pikachu's gonna come. Pause. I think Hammy looks great as just like a Spikes getter. I think Megavino's always great, and I think Terapagos is always great. Maybe we go Magcargo instead of Megavino. Maybe. And maybe Pigs can fly. But that's what I see on this side. On the other side, I do know Smeargle does come to this match, which is interesting. I don't know if I would bring Smeargle myself, but I also think Smeargle is a bit of a fraud, so I think Houndstone actually looks very good. It can check Valley pretty well. It actually checks Pikachu very well if it's physical. Checks this very well if it's physical. You get the idea. The only thing it doesn't check is Hammy, but you know, you have something that can kill, you have something that can kill, you have something that can kind of switch in. Um, Damn, Hammy looks also pretty tough to deal with, I'm not gonna lie. There's like not a ton of switch-ins for Hammy. Um, so maybe you go like, I think defensive, I think you have to go defensive Salamis. I think that's literally the only thing you can do here. And if you don't bring it, I think you just lose because I really don't see what checks Hammy. Um, Speed Boost Scolipede doesn't look too good. Ogerpon always looks good in my opinion for a lot of matchups. This one has a Mega Venus, so I'm less tempted to say it's good. I already said Mega, or not Mega, Mence looks great. Unknown is a threat. Unknown's definitely a threat. I'm sorry for glossing over my goat with banned hidden power. So I think you have to bring. I think you have to bring Thundy. I would love rain. I would love if they brought like manual rain. I think that'd be really cool, and I think it looks very good into this team. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But I love Mence. I think you can have an argument for Thundy, but I wouldn't bring it, and then I'd probably just bring like these these six. But that's just me. Because I don't even like none of like maybe bring Pachu for the Pikachu matchup. I don't know. I don't know. But here is what we brought. Oh, we just brought all the killers. No Pikachu. We're not messing around this one. We did bring Smeargle, Annihilate, Ogerpon. No Mence. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Hammy just looks incredible. I don't really see what switches into this mon. I assume it's just gonna lead with like band. I would flip turn. Alright, I'm just a terrible player. I'm just a terrible player. I forget the Smeargle crap is here. But you do get 2 spikes, which is pretty cool. Oh, we're just okay. I like that. I like SD. SD's really nice. Taunt on the Ceaseless has been missing all season. Spin is Jesus. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Smeargle doing like Smeargle has no right to do 53%. That's insane. Mega T-Tar, I like staying in because Aqua Cutter is literally just to kill. I don't understand that. I don't understand staying in there. And Jet's gonna do a crap ton. Which would... The reason why you Jet there... Well, I guess you could Aqua Cutter, but you're trying to catch... anything. That's crazy. Not running X Scissor is crazy in a matchup like this, but that's all good. Iron Head comes out. Megavina should be fine though. It literally should be like chilling. Yeah, you bring Leaf Storm for the kill. Makes sense. Scolipede comes in to try and SD. Leech Seed, I like that. Again, I don't. Alright, that's a little greedy. That's a little greedy to be honest. I don't like that play. And you're not even Speed Boost. What are you Swarm? What are we doing? But yeah, Terrapagos always comes in, that's why you don't do anything. Actually, hard switch. I say GG extremely early. Drain Punch, this is probably Scarflottie. It is not Scarflottie. But this comes in pretty free. You can sub if you have it. Agility, sure. And that always outspeeds Scolipede, even if it was Speed Boost, so... yeah, Valley just looks incredible here. Yeah, that's a dead... that's a dead Ogerpon. Annihilate, Spirit Break, Pass, whatever. Yeah, no, I don't understand Yeah, like if I didn't get flinch, and Scolipede still underspeeds, it didn't need any of the speed boost. Um, yeah, no, I don't think this is great prep. I think you completely did not understand what the threat was on the other side, and a lot of your sweepers are just walled by a combination of Terrapagos, Venusaur, um, and Treads. And I think not realizing that and recognizing that is something to take note of, especially as postseason comes near. Um, yeah, I also am not a fan of Smeargle, but that's just my opinion. Valiant 6-0 with agility, yeah, yeah. It was an incredible set. Valley just looked incredible this matchup, and I think not. I think not prepping for the threats was the downfall because hyper offense works when you get your shit up respectfully and you get chip. It also works when you have a decent matchup and you don't have something that can easily come in and set up. And this team just, I don't understand. Oops, I don't understand this play. I don't understand switching. Why are we switching? Why are we switching? Like, I understand this doesn't kill, but like I think this is why you respectfully lost this match is because that's not hyper offense is all about momentum. It's a very momentum based playstyle where you get webs up and you just do shit, right? That is how this works. And once you give an inch, you kind of just crumble from there. And you know, if I was speed boost, if I was, um, sure, right? Sure, you maybe can sweep. Um, but if you're a speed boost here, you don't kill Terapagos, you get killed back by Flamethrower, and guess what? We're in the same exact position we were in. Because you would go Annihilate here on Terapagos, and we would have the same position. So, speed boost, not having it does matter, but it doesn't matter as much as you might think. And I think I know this best, once you start attributing a match to, um, if I had brought this, if I had done this, if you start playing the what if game, um, that's where you really screw yourself, right? Because you can always say, oh, if I'd prepped better, if I'd done this, if I'd done that. You can always say those things, but you kind of need to put it into practice, you know? Like, you didn't lose because you didn't bring speed boost. You lost because you didn't bring something for Valley. You didn't prep for Valiant. You didn't prep for the opponent team. You prepped for your win cons. You didn't prep for the opposing win cons. You prepped for yours. Um, and you also let them get momentum. And yeah, I don't like blaming this on Scolipede not having speed boost because I don't think that's accurate as to how the situation was. Moving on. Moving on. Um, we have. I know you guys can barely see it. We have Ceaseless Airledge up against Hero Hunter's Requiem, I believe. Man, I wish I could verse some of these. Some of these. Whatever. Yeah, no, this is just the Roaring Moon. Just, I mean, I would say if Hero Hunters were not 0 and 5, I would say maybe you have a shot with Bundle. You know, Bundle looks like a very good cleaner in this game. You just need to be able to break for it. That's what I've said this whole entire season, but that's not happened. So, um, yeah, I do know some outcomes of this game, but if I'm just seeing this blindsided, I think Rotom has a very nice matchup. I think it's a really good pivot. It allows you to get in some threats. If they ever go Gligar, you can punish with Hydro Pump. So I think this is a fantastic Rotom Wash matchup where it can just get in, excuse me, all your threats. I don't think Heatran looks great, particularly because there's a Nidoking, gets EQ, gets EQ, gets EQ, gets EQ. So that's not great. Not really great. I know obviously EQ from, or sorry, Earth Power for Nidoking's case, but I'm pretty sure Earthquake wouldn't kill from this, or even a CC wouldn't kill from this, from Hitmontop, but it would still do like 75%, right? So Heatran just looks abysmal unless it's like Focus Sash lead, get up rocks, play aggressive, which I think that would not be bad. But then again, you have a mon specifically for that, so it's like, okay. This looks fine as a breaker. Obviously Psychic Terrain is not the greatest thing in the world, but like you can, I am assuming, I don't think I have anything to reveal with my showdowns. Whoops. Let me do this. OBS, okay. Let me see. Natax. Let me see if. What's it called? Oh my god, Mobile. I don't think it gets Trick Room, but yeah, it does not get Trick Room, but you could still run. I believe you get Trick Room on like Toadstool or something. I could be wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong. Point being, I think you can still make Mega Mawile work. You just have to make sure you're not bringing anything into Psychic Terrain, or you're bringing some kind of terrain alteration. But yeah, because otherwise I would say Mega Mawile is actually a pretty good cleaner, but that's why I'm saying Bundle's a great cleaner for this match. But you just need to be able to break with probably these two mons, pivot around with Rotom Wash, maybe bring, I mean, Sokka actually looks pretty decent. Honestly, Scarf Heatran doesn't even look too bad either. And then you bring Mega Mawile, and it's actually not the worst matchup in the world. And I think it might actually be in your favor. Unfortunately, you're 0-5 minus 19, so I just cannot pick in favor of you for this match. So yeah, so here, we actually do see Rotom, no Sock, which makes sense. Don't think they left anyone too notable behind. Yeah, they didn't leave anyone too notable behind. Yeah, we're just trying to styling. I don't understand why sub-gouging to try and take advantage of Mula. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can sub on it, but then, like, what? You don't exactly... Yeah. No, I could see that working. It's just they can always flip turn, bring in, you know, Roaring Moon. It could have Scale Shot. So it's not like the worst strategy in the world, but like it's tough. This is a really, especially with how I know this person plays compared to this person, this just looks like a really tough matchup for. But yeah, we get lead Electrode with, oh, no screens. No screens today. Into Reuniclus. Unaware Reuniclus. Or no, not unaware. Skill Swap. Ooh, I like that. I really like that. We see Bundle. I don't know why. Just a pivot. To Electrode. Freeze Volt Switch. I don't hate T-Wave, but I think Volt Switch is better. It's like It's like in chess where you have mate in one, but you decide to put your opponent in check again. You know? Or like attacking a piece and already having like 3-on-2 and then just being like, I'm gonna attack it again. um, type play. Anyways, we have Reuniclus. It is going to... Oh yeah, magic card. Missing is crazy. Unfortunate, but staying in is crazy. So... Yeah, you get the Magma Storm, but this is chip. Landing both is crazy. I think that's literally a 50-50, if not a little less. And then Pump lands, so we're just landing every move. This has Recover, which was pretty telegraphed. Molo comes in on Volt, it's dead. Nidoking comes in. Nidoking's gonna pick up a free kill. I mean, things are in bundle range. Okay, well, Reuniclus is not, clearly. And then we're just, I don't understand that now, because bundles are best mon. Why would we do that? Why are we doing that? I don't understand why we go bundle on this. Right? Like, I don't understand why it's Ice Beam into Pump Pump. Oops. Instead of Ice Beam into Gouging Fire or Rotom Wash into Volt. I don't really understand that play. I don't think it is a winning play, especially because Gouging cannot sweep. It just can't from this situation. Roaring Moon will always outspeed. If it's Scarf Roaring Moon, obviously it would outspeed. Not really a great play. And now you go Gouging, which is like, sure, but... And you're defensive, so this isn't even... You have D-Dance, and then you switch... I don't... Good Willow. Good Willow. Go Nidoking, fine, Pump, cool. But yeah, this is gonna come in. So, are you a Lum? I guess we'll never know. Do it again. Are you Lum? I guess we'll never know. Do it again. Are you Lum? Yes. Okay. Okay. And then Alka's gonna sweep from here. Yeah. No, that's an issue. Uh, yeah. Just not playing to your outs. You just have to play to your outs, and that's kind of that's the theme of this draft league for sure. It's just knowing what wins on your team and how to support that win. And every draft league player thinks different. I feel like I'm kind of an outcast in that I kind of think weird stuff or I don't have plays right, but I think at the end of the day, we all just think really differently about these matchups. But two things can be true in that you can think differently, but you can also prep well in spite of thinking differently. And I think in this case, we didn't do that. We did not prep well to our endgame, and I don't think we played particularly well to our endgame despite having moves that and movesets that actually don't look too bad. I think Balloon Heatran is not even that terrible. I just don't think it's... Respectfully, I don't think it's good. And I think you just need to know what each Mon's role is. And in this case, like Heatran, like the amount of Pokemon that just died to Reuniclus is insane. Like, we need a Mon that can deal with Reuniclus. And to me, that would be Mega Mawile. And we just never thought to bring that Mon on Mega Mawile, or on Reuniclus. Anyways, moving on, we have a good one. We have the Ludicolo's up against the Hatsune Miku fan club. I mean, this is like every other matchup, right? Tusk looks great because there's just a lot of dark types that are weak to fighting, and the ones that are not weak to fighting are probably weak to ground because, let's be honest, Corpusquire is not coming to this match. I think T-Spikes might not be horrible here. Also, both these teams 2 and 3, so could be an important matchup, sources are telling me. What else? I think is that it? Well, I mean, besides the actual mons that have to come, you know. Walking Wake looks pretty good, especially specs. It just looks like it clicks buttons. It forces this to come in, so you can flip turn on it, bring in some other kind of threat, and kind of play from there. I think Meow just looks crazy good this matchup, because it's just you can run. Does it get spikes or like T spikes? You can run like something like that, and with U-turn and pivot around and whatnot. Um, I don't think webs are gonna matter too much in this match because you can bring your own if you really want, or you can also bring Delmise. Though Delmise doesn't look great, so let me backtrack a little bit. You need something probably for first impression mon that always kills you. So to me, that's just Rocky Helmet, max defensive Overquill, who has came every single match. Pause. On the other side of things, Bitterblade guy looks pretty good if it gets set up. If it can set up. First impression guy also looks pretty good. I would push back a little bit in that, like, you know, Rocky Helmet's going to be very tough to deal with, especially depending on who the defensive mon is, right? If it's Tusk, if it's Overcool, probably going to have to be clicking U-turn instead of first impression most times. So just keep that in mind. Scarf Sarud always looks fun. I think Lefty's Bulky Sarud might actually be very good. I don't really see what touches Overpull in this team, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, there's nothing for Overpull. I think Lefty's Overpull is actually just, or sorry, Black Sludge Overpull is just very good. Right? It can spam bar barrages onto Mega Sableye and poison it. Yeah, it just looks very good. But we shall see. We shall see. I think Looney should take this. I think they should take this. Yeah, we do see Mega Sableye, we see Overkill, we see pretty much everyone. Hello, done. No Walking Wake, which I guess also makes sense. But yeah, we'll see. Vikavolt lead on Sableye. We should not see webs, right? We just see discharge. We see the para, so we don't get to see some fun stuff. And this was Rocky Helmet, so this is that's a switch of all time. What? What are we doing? This comes in, but like, and it can SD, can whatever. But like, what? That's not a good play, man. We're special Overquill to not get the, that's cool, to not get the weak armor proc. Rocks, fine, discharge, are we getting another para? No. We see hard Overquill, probably on Chili, or Future, fine. But we see hard Tank come out, Dark Pulse comes out again. I don't really, do you even need to switch if you're Overquill? Yeah, you can just protect is fine there. That is a little bit, scary. But if you're max, or yeah, you can also sack them on, so, geez, that's crazy. Player off comes out, Tusks should come in, or done, which is probably gonna live everything, and it can glare. Oh, it didn't live. Sylveon comes out, SD is crazy on Mystical Fire, that's insane. Yeah, I don't know what that one was. For, I guess to, I mean, I don't know, I would still click player up there. We see not come out on, oh, did it lose its item? Low kicks comes out, we do see U-turn. Exactly what I said, Player off comes out, this is pretty much dead though. Recover. Once, if it gets paired once, it's dead, so this is actually the right play. It's definitely not the right play to stay in. I don't understand why we're not going Bitterblade guy, but sure. Low kicks comes out, first impression comes in, it doesn't do enough. Spin comes out, that's a very good spin. Very, very nice spin. And now Cerulege comes out, but it's too late. I don't understand. And now this comes into first impression. Obviously, it's not going to. Do we U-turn? We U-turn. That's a good U-turn. playing to your outs. But at this point, Colbert, are we gonna flinch? No. T-Wave, sure. Sure. DP comes out on Future Sight. This one never switches, so that doesn't really matter. I love that this is special. I think this is a really good prep. Protect on U-turn, that's fine. U-turn. Yeah, at this point we have to chili into... Oh, well that's a slight... Okay, yeah, no, this one wins. I don't see how it loses. Especially once you start getting flinches. Which it didn't, but... Like... Oh, okay, that's how we start losing. Okay. Knock again. What? Protect on... Oh, protect, yeah. Okay. Now we can actually win. Except we don't, because it's the sack war, and you always lose the sack war now. Because low kicks comes out, obviously Tusk comes in. You can knock, but you cannot hide. Because that's going to be GG's. Or not Terrabug, but Protein Bug is going to do it, and that was a very close match. A lot closer than I probably was expecting, to be honest. But I think you really lost in how you played your cards. I think, you know, obviously, whatchamacallit, I think here. Obviously, on this first playoff, you probably shouldn't do that, right? But at this point, Mega Stabilize a sack. I think you just go Ceruledge for free. And I should also mention, yes, Ceruledge will probably die in this instance, right? And it can get the attack drop, right? There's a lot of ways it could go wrong, but like at the end of the day, Ceruledge looks fine, but I feel like it can't really ever get started in this match, especially since you're not like... If you were clear Amulet, SD, you would win here. You would just win on the spot, but it's clearly you are not, so... Yeah, I think it's just better planning for a matchup. I think Clear Amulet looks very good this matchup, and I feel like you can always get an SD off, right? Especially on Tusk or what have you. I don't think they ever switch with Tusk, but like I don't know. You could. I just feel like you could have played that a little bit better. Maybe if you're whatchamacallit, if you're Shaka or Colbert or something, which I assume you probably are, but yeah, I don't know. Just if you can get more chip on Tusk, I feel like you should always pick that option. And it's a little unfortunate because you don't really force progress here. And yes, if you don't get parried, this isn't a bad thing. The issue is you have a... It's more likely you lose this matchup than you don't. So I think you need to cut your losses and just kind of try and make some kind of aggressive play, because I think right now it looks kind of, I was going to say even, I think it looks a little bit still in Raph's favor because Meow looks crazy, Overquill looks crazy, Tusk still looks crazy. I think you need to be thinking about win cons and chip, right? So I'm saying go player of here, or go, honestly, no. You go Ceruledge here, and you Bitterblade. You get more chip for low kicks, right? You can U-turn, and now we can start the sack war, right? Maybe that still ends up the same way, but I think just playing to your outs a little bit better. Maybe could have been something, but yeah. Moving on, we have a matchup of all time. We have the Coney Cats taking on, I believe, the Sneaky Zoroarks. Yes, the Sneaky Zoroarks. Diplin, my goat. Diplin versus Appleton matchup? Question mark. Maybe. Caesar looks very good as per usual. CC just looks incredible into this team. There's very few mons that really want to take it. Obviously, Hisuian Zoroark looks like a threat, but I think you do have ways of dealing with it, like for example, rocks, spikes, T-spikes. I think also having priority is really good for the team because Grassy Glide could take care of it. Pesky Hisuian Zorg. I think Hisuian Zorg just looks incredible. Because it can play a lot of matchup issues, but it's also just very strong into this team. Which might force you into like AV Celesteela, or I mean Florges is just a phenomenal counter, but like I don't know. I don't know. I am gonna take the team that is 4-1 though, no matter what. And yeah. On the other side of things, I think Fake Out could be very strong. I think Torn, like Specs Torn, is not terrible here. It just looks like it does a crap ton of damage. Same with Hisuian Zorak. I feel like Hyper Offense might just be like get in a Pokemon and just make it do work. And maybe you'll win. like, and then have one defensive one, right? Like a Bronzong, Appleton, etc. Alright. This is kind of what I said, right? I mean, this is pretty aggressive. We do see Florges, we see Sneasler, see some of the guys, no Diplin or Appleton. They just hate my goats, I guess. I don't know. Rillaboom comes in to lead, I assume. Nokia. Oh my, banded. That might be banded. Honestly, I would stay in and test some stuff. Crit, unfortunate, but you're still fine for the most part. Which is nice. Yep, which is nice. You actually live one, so maybe you switch. And you just protect, which is the right play. But you still always get a wish. You're running Fire Blast shenanigans, right? Free Wish into Boom onto that is not low punny, but it's also a dead Zoroark. Okay, well it's a Sash Zoroark. Bitter Malice, does that even kill? No. It's kind of what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it out loud. Sneak! Ooh, that's neat. That's a very nice tech. Okay, unfortunately, we're dead though, so like that's tough. Screen looks so funny. I'll show that. Yeah, it's meant for doubles. It's meant for doubles, and that's what I'm realizing. But I don't really. I like this just because of the way it's all organized, and the vibe it gives. But yeah, no, this is definitely for doubles. We see Sneasler come out. I thought we were gonna pop a CC there. Yeah, this is always pretty free. We're just kind of in a weird... Okay, defog fine. We're just in a weird spot of the game where just nothing's kind of happening. And I don't know how you kill this Florges. Yeah, I don't know how you kill this Florges. Burn is fine, but it doesn't matter because... Yeah, I don't know how you kill this Florges. You have to make a play. You're forced to make a play now. So you have to go Torn. Or Swarm. That's fine too. But you just have to make a play. I would CC, Superpower, whatever you have. Not that move. Not that move. Should have been Sludge. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Again, it's just matchups. Unfortunate miss, but also doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Megalop. I like it. I like going hard Megalop there. Ooh, I like the double there too. That's a very good double. Knock is not the play. Knock is not the play. Knock is not the play at all. Yeah, that's not gonna kill, and they're not gonna switch. They don't have a reason to. Yeah. Yeah. An Earth Eater, and this isn't using freeze dry. What are we scared of? Oh, man. Rock Slide, what are these? My goat Blahaj, at least. Oh, what is this? What are we doing? My Sharp Crunch kills. kills, and Blage is the goat. Yeah, no, this is just, I mean, obviously, now that I've come to know this player, yeah, I'm gonna give them some passes, but just, for the future, just know the matchup, know what you need to bring, know what uh, your opponent's abilities and types, and know the special and physical splits, and what Pokemons do better in what, and game plan. I think that is the biggest tip I can give you. Just have a plan coming into it. Usually getting your lead down, who you're going to lead with, is a good start. It's a good way to start your team build because then you can kind of plan some turns from there of what to do after turn one. So that's usually a good way of doing it. But yeah, tough. Tough, tough, tough. Next. Did I already do this one? I could have sworn I did this. Oh no, I did not do this. I did not do this. Um, Alright, we have the Jellicents up against the uh, oh my god, Starmies. There we go. Let's see here. Let's see. Holt looks pretty good. It usually looks pretty good. I could see. I don't know about screens, but I think like a Willow Hex set looks pretty solid because you hit this. Hex is super effective against these, or like a mix set too. Um, like you could honestly get away with like D-Dance, Darts, Hex, Wisp. Like obviously you're gonna be weak to Kiss, but you can game plan with that. You have like a very good Rotom Heat answer for it with like Covert Cloak. Shenanigans, you also have a very good Rocky guy, who if you can get in safely, which you probably can with a slower uh, min speed Rotom Heat, you can get it in and it will start just clicking kills. You also have a very good Avalug, uh, Aggron, who can rest, sleep, talk, heavy slam. And that looks pretty good against, or like body press as well for the Registeel. Registeel, nope, you have this. So I think Jellicents just look better. Like Chomp can be threatening. It's just like Scale Shot. Scale Shot looks really good into this team. I think these two break extremely well actually in front of this team. I think even like clicking Thunderous Kick should be pretty free. I don't really see a good switch into that. Yeah, this is tough. Sinistcha doesn't even look great. I mean, it looks fine as like a special wall, but yeah, it actually does look pretty good as a special wall. So I think it's gonna be these, uh, and then this, or maybe this, but probably this because you want speed. And on the other side of things, I think it's probably just gonna be this, or this, because we hate Border Pond for some reason. Yeah, we just hate. What is Mr. What is Mr. Rhyme doing here? What is Mr. Rhyme doing here? Oh. Oh. How can I justify it? How? I don't think I can. It gets killed by everything. Oh, no, Mr. Rhyme. We don't even see Iron Moth or Thunderous Kick. Oh, man. Oh, dude. What are we doing? Trade rocks, average DPP game, or something. We are Iron Defense Dunspoor. Wowzers. Heavy Slam, yep, you can go Rotom Heat because now you know. You are covert or not. I don't know what you are. You are Hex does nothing. It was a crit though. We volt out? I don't like that. Why are we not pain splitting? Do we not have pain split? And you always get I don't like that. Oh no, man. Oh no. Why? Why? And now this comes in for free. Did we EP? Okay, well that's a crazy crit. But oh man, I don't like this. I don't like this. This is obviously like Banded Weavile, so this is gonna do a crap ton to Aggron. And by a crap ton I mean 12%, so maybe not a crap ton. We see Heavy Slam come out. Mr. Rhyme comes in, so it is the set, but like you lose to Heavy Slam. Why would you go Mr. Rhyme? Yeah, what are we... Why? And then we go Keldeo, which makes sense. This is what we should have went. I don't know why we flip turn and not just attack, but we're playing very aggressive for no reason. Like, this is a matchup where playing aggressive, you should not. There's no reason to play aggressive right now. Just take the kills. Take the kills. Chomp is gonna do nothing. You're obviously locked, or at the very least, you don't have darts. And Chomp is gonna start picking up kills. So this is Lum. Most likely Lum, at least. Are we ID? We are ID. Confuse. No Lum. Wow. We're not Lum. Registeel comes out. I don't like that we are just max defensing for no reason. And then we Heavy Slam and not Body Press? Huh? And now we Body Press. Oh, I don't like this. And then we're forced out. Okay. Okay. At least you get a free Ice Beam. At least you get a free Ice Beam here. Free try. Tomato, tomato. Don't spin these, man. They're gonna put them back up. What are we doing? Now they get up permanently. I don't like that exchange. I really don't. At least Keldeo comes in for free. Wise Lander is coming in. It's gonna get parried. Yeah, and you see, like, Keldeo at least gives you some initiative. That just doesn't. Respectfully, that does nothing for you, right? If you're playing with rocks and you're playing like this, you need to keep up offensive pressure. You cannot do like this U-turn crap. You cannot do that. You have to play what's in front of you. You can't do that. You just can't. We see Heavy Slam on the very we saw defog, so whatever. Whatever. Strength Up comes out. Yum. Heavy Slam comes out. Not very yum. But this looks pretty over. Yeah, now it looks very over. This just seems like a Garchomp win. But I could be persuaded otherwise. Aggron comes back out on Roost. Honestly, let's just go for these air flashes. Alright. You're a better person than me. You're a better person than me. This comes in. Obviously, we'll Strength Sap. Get it all the way back up to full. We see rocks come out, which is not bad. Mid-game rocks, late-game rocks, whatever. Tomato, tomato. This is dead, though. And Keldeo will be dead soon enough. Stun Spore misses, which I don't think matters a ton. The only reason you Stun Spore is to try and burn turns. Because you're always faster. Get back to full because Aggron has a ton of attack, and that is what I meant by burning turns or stealing turns. Hex comes out, you are full HP, you deal with Keldeo. Icy Wind, for reasons which we will never know. It misses, which is cool, but like, I mean, honestly, I probably would have just won Registeel. You're clearly locked into Icy Wind, but Kiss is fine. Alright. Alright, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't like this. I don't like this. Air Slash, you have to Roost. Take the safe line, right? Okay, no, we're not. Yep. That's fine. That's fine. Um, yeah, just not really great things brought. I don't understand Mr. Rhyme. I really don't understand why we bring Mr. Rhyme instead of Ogerpon, instead of Grimmsnarl. Like, even Quillfish Hisui doesn't have a bad match. I mean, it does have a bad matchup, but it's not as bad as Mr. Rhyme. Like, I don't know. I don't know why we hate Ogerpon Cornerstone so much. It just looks phenomenal in a lot of matchups, and it could actually put in some work. And it gives you something that you could deal with Kelby or Togekiss with. Anyways, moving on. Whoops. Moving on. We have the last matchup, which is, I believe, against the Slashers and the Palafins. Gren, how we doing, Gren? Gren looks very good. Delibird doesn't even look half bad, which is really funny. Lando, I don't really, I'm sorry. I got nothing, man. I mean, we know how this one's gonna go, no offense, but like, yeah, I mean, you can do Salt Cure stuff, but I don't think that's that great. I think Aegislash might be able to put in some work. Again, I'm not confident in that at all. I think, this is a really tough matchup, actually. Yeah, this is a really bad matchup. Palafin just looks like it can click whatever button it wants. So, this is a really tough matchup. I don't see the win con, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's like agility. I mean, in a game plan like this, I'd probably just say, you know, have 2 or 3 wall breakers with 1 cleaner, 2 tanks. That's kind of usually the MO, but we'll see. We see Glade lead on Palafin. I mean, didn't lead Palafin against me. Ice Punch comes out on Helm. CC comes out for free. Knock. Ice Punch, and that's dead, but you're at 7%, which is a good trade, I feel like, because this is just gonna... You don't have to switch into Jet Punch. Why are we not Jet Punching? I mean, Bulk Up's fine, but, like, you don't win on the spot. I don't like that play. Because Zarina's here. Yeah, I don't like that play at all. Power Whip. Toxic, sure. We're not knocking there or axling there. No, so we're just Scarf. Right? We'd have to be Scarf here. Lando comes out on spikes. Defog, sure. I mean, this is gonna click Toxic, yeah. Yeah, we're just letting things get chip, which is kind of what you have to do when you use Palafin. You're probably going for Mega Altaria Sweep now, so it's just how much chip can you get, and you can kind of do it all day, so Gren comes in, what do we click? Spikes, that's fine. We have switch-ins with Iron Hands, which has been AV this whole entire season, so that's a brutal freeze. That's a really, really brutal freeze. Okay, but we thawed because we're just better, and we Ice Punched because we're just better, so that's tough. That's tough, but it was a freeze, and Drink comes out without the freeze, so... Toxic comes out. Click Shadow Ball. Sure, Shadow Ball back. They need to buff Aegislash again. That mod would be fine. But it's not doing enough damage, and Gliscor is always recovering. And you don't have enough chip on Iron Hands yet, so... We see DP come out. Feels locked. Feels very locked into DP. Oh, but we're not. I like it, I like it. But Hands comes out, and it will pick up some kill. Dragology. Sure, we'll get chip on it. Why not? Oh, instead. Unfortunate. Are we running speed on Iron Hands then? Or is this just naturally 205? Oh, so it's naturally speed. Okay. Probably would have ran speed EVs on Jigauji just to get the upper hand a little bit, but we see this come in, dies. Gren comes in. Okay, so we get a kill, but unfortunately, oh, we're Colbert. Sick, but doesn't matter. But yeah, Iron Hands cleans up from here. Ironically, Hydro. I don't know about ironing, but Hydro misses. So that is going to wrap up week number 6. If you give me 1 second, I will get you the. Oh, you can see all this. Ha ha ha. Where is? Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay. So that is stat inputs. We're on week 6. Boop, boop. And I'm not showing this. Boop. And boop. Alright. And then I just need to fill in. Oh no, I did that. Oh, I'm so on top of things. Oh my god. So they call me the goat. The goat! Alright. So yeah, so we'll see how this updates. I'm actually a little curious on how it updates, but alright, that was quick. So we see Chi-Yu fall out because it took a loss and it was Chi-Yuing. We see the top, roughly 5 to 12 is between 50 and 30, which is pretty normal. We see Mamoswine. I'm so sorry, my guy. Not doing great. Sneasler having a great season. We have Cortana having a good season. Roaring Moon's having a phenomenal season. Roaring Mid. Oh, it actually replaced Ryun. That's pretty interesting. Valley is still doing Valley things for once. It actually is 4th, and the user's at 8th, which I think is very interesting. Same with Sneasler and Coney, but like Coney's 5 and 1, and Bannergate is 3 and 3. So a little bit more impressive, but nevertheless, some cool stuff. We see Great Tusk making an appearance. We see Lantern is still doing great. Tusk, Megatator, all that great stuff. So yeah, this next week is going to be. I'm pretty sure Portland clinches. They clinch with a win for sure, but yeah, I think they clinch. Yeah, I actually think they clinch. We have the Tapus who look like I put in a win for them, but that could be a loss. It really depends on how that will go, because at least they attempted to schedule, but honestly that might just be a double forfeit. And that was with them and the Soaring Chomps. For any of the Toon 4 teams, it's pretty much a win and pray. For the 3 and 3 teams, it's just a win and in at this point. And it's really, yeah. Yep. I think that is about it. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Sorry again that this is coming out very late, though, to be fair, besides my game, none of the week 7 matches have been played, so that will be coming out probably next week sometime, when all of those matches are actually done. And yeah,